What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope everybody enjoyed the weekend and is ready to conquer the week that is. And today is a very special edition of the show, man. Uh, it, I just got back off the road from the games for the physically challenged this past weekend and went down Friday and Saturday. And man, what a great weekend it was, as it always is. I mean, like I said, man, this weekend is one of the most rewarding weekends of my life. I will continue to do this until I can't do it anymore. These kids, now I call them my kids too, because they mean so much to me, and it was just great seeing everybody. Um, Nancy, Victor, Yeg, Joe, Mr. Turzo, Mr. Orman, just Mariana, the whole 229 crew, man, and they were like, it's like a big family reunion every time we get to do this because I might make a few, maybe like one or two appearances in the school throughout the year, but that's during a work day where everybody's like running around and and doesn't have time to really focus and chat. But even though we're competing, the kids are competing. I mean, and everybody's like running, and I'm running around doing camera work, and Nancy is doing her thing. Putting this whole thing together. And let's be quite honest, if Nancy didn't work as hard as she did, and all of us for that matter, this none of this would be possible. And it's absolutely great to come back and be able to coach and be able to impart my knowledge on these kids and give back to the people that have given so much to me over the years. So all right, so here's how it went down, man. I on Friday morning, I woke up around 5 a.m. because I had to catch my access ride to go from my house to the drop off point, Green Acres Mall, which then I had to catch another service called Able Ride, which takes me into Long Island where the games are at Mitchell Field. And that's a long travel day. But like the travel and anything else, any hiccups that I may encounter, that none of that matters to me because I'm not doing it for. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them. This is all about the kids and their happiness and their joy. Every time I look at them, I see a little bit of myself. So and when they're out there competing, and I'm capturing it all on camera, and it is my absolute honor to capture every single moment that I can on camera. So not only can they look back on it and say, "Man, we did that and that was cool," I can look back on it and say, "I was a part of that," and I will always cherish those moments. No matter how tired, no matter how beat up I am, none of that matters. On Friday it was brutally hot. It was over 85 degrees, and when you're out there in the field, in an open field, and that sun is beating down on you, man, it could cause one hell of a burn. And I think I got a little bit of a burn on my forehead. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but yeah, it hurts. But all that pain is definitely worth it. And then on Saturday, it was a little bit cooler. Same deal. I had to get up at 5 a.m. to catch my rides, and you know, and my homemate Sarah came out with me on Saturday, which was really cool. She's part of the family too, man. I mean, she's been going with me for as long as I've been a coach, which is about a decade and a half. And she loves them as much as they love her, and I wouldn't be able it would be very difficult for me to do this without her help. So huge shout out to her. So yeah, so we got there on Saturday at about 9:30. People were still setting up when we got there, and it wasn't a huge turnout like it was in years past because I guess still, even though they say the pandemic is pretty much done, people are still having that fear, and it's understandable because this was very unpredictable, and you don't know when it might strike again. So people are still kind of living in fear a little bit, which is, like I said, understandable. And but it was still a very very good turnout, and the kids had an amazing time, man. We got I On Saturday I did camera work, and I got had a chance to speak to some really really great parents of the kids at 229. Adi, I don't know his father's name. One of my kids that I coach named Adi, man. Funny story with him. He when I first started coaching him, I was running alongside him in a race, and his dad told me this story on Saturday. He said when you were running alongside him in that race that time. He thought that I was chasing him, so he was trying to get away from me, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, all I wanted to do was get away from that man," which I found hilarious. Uh, and I was like, yeah, and I told his dad, I was like, if he needed to use that as motivation to get the best possible outcome for his race, then by all means go ahead. And we had a good laugh about it. And man. And what do you call it? I also met this awesome kid named Yusef, he was he's one of the students of one of the physical therapists, Sylvia, who got me to talk to him, and he was just fascinated with my motorized wheelchair. He looks like he wants to drive one of those. He was asking me all kinds of questions about it, so that was cool. And like I said, I love these heartwarming moments and everything like that, man. Anything for these kids. And there's an interview. I was part of an interview with past alumni conducted by the Long Island Herald. I believe the interviewer said it would be up. Said the article would be up this Thursday coming up. I'm not sure the date. What date is that? I believe that is the 8th. Yeah, so June 8th. You Google the Long Island Herald and just look for the article on the physically challenged 2023 physically challenged games, and you'll see see a quote from me in there, as well as my fellow alumni athletes, Brian Ke, and there were Audie himself was quoted too, and it was just a really cool interview, man. And shout out to Victor, man. Let me just say this. We shared a really intimate moment, and he told all of us that seeing how we turned out made his worth it, man. And I for one, I can't speak for the rest of them, but I for one would not be. It would be in a very different position if it weren't for Victor's guidance and influence and working with him over the years and getting to know him. When I say he and the rest of the 229 family are my family, I truly mean that. I know that gets thrown around a lot, but it applies to everyone here, because we are a family, and that's how we operate, and that's how things are able to run so smoothly when they do. Each year, I should say. And like I said, it was such a great weekend. So many great people. We have the medal ceremony coming up in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait for that. That's always great too. And yeah, there's going to be a vlog on that too. Don't worry. But yeah, man, that is going to do it for this amazing episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, and share. Please don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And I will see you guys on the next one. And see all my family soon at the medal ceremony, and next year back at Mitchell Field. Peace.